Okay, so this is a recap of the notes from Friday. Okay, so along the unit circle, given a value t that we move along the circle, we end at terminal point P, which has a point value of x comma y, right? So the 6 trig functions are defined from this terminal point x comma y. Okay, so the cosine of t is just the x value of the terminal point. And it is pronounced cosine. COS is the abbreviation. Next we have sine, S-I-N-E, but the abbreviation is S-I-N. The sine of t is just the y value of the terminal point. And then the tangent of t is y divided by x. Okay, so these are our basic trig functions, cosine, sine, and tangent. The reciprocal trig functions are these three right here. So secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so it's 1 over x. Cosecant is 1 over y, and cotangent is x over y. So these are the reciprocal functions of the first three, but these are the 6 basic trig functions. So I want to look at an example now. Let's look at 2 points. So whenever I'm trying to define the trig functions, I usually start by writing down what the terminal point is. So for pi over 3, the terminal point is 1/2 root 3 over 2. Okay, so we are going to find the cosine, the sine, and the tangent to start. Okay, so the cosine is just the x value. The sine is the y value. And the tangent is y divided by x. So root 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. Okay, so whenever we're dividing fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, in this case our 2's will cancel, and we're left with just root 3. And then we're going to find our 3 reciprocal functions. So secant is 1 over x. 1 divided by 1/2 is 2. The cosecant is 1 divided by root 3 over 2, which means 1 times 2 over root 3. 2 over root 3, we need to rationalize the denominator, so multiply by root 3 over root 3, and we get 2 root 3 over 3. And then last is the cotangent of t. The cotangent is x over y. So 1/2 divided by root 3 over 2, so times 2 over root 3. Okay, once again my 2's cancel, and I'm left with 1 over root 3. Rationalize the denominator by multiplying by root 3 over root 3, and I end up with root 3 over 3. Okay, let's look at pi over 2 now. Pi over 2 gives us the terminal point 0, 1. Okay, so the cosine of t is 0. The sine of t is 1. The tangent is y over x. Anything divided by 0 is undefined, so this is undefined. The secant of t is 1 over the x value, again undefined. the cosecant of t is 1 over the y value, so just 1. And then the cotangent is x divided by y, in this case 0. Okay, you also want to be aware of the domain, so sine and cosine. We can take the sine and cosine of any real number. For tangent and secant, we can take the tangent and secant of any number other than pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2. We can't be on the top or the bottom of the circle because that will cause us to divide by 0. Cotangent and cosecant, we cannot take the cotangent or cosecant of pi or 2 pi or 0 because that will cause us to divide by 0. Okay, and lastly, the signs of the trig functions. So in quadrant 1, they are all positive. In quadrant 2, remember that that would cause your x values to be x values to be negative. So sine and its reciprocal function are positive, but all the rest are going to be negative. Tangent, cotangent, cosine, and secant. In quadrant 3, sine and cosine are both negative here. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So tangent and its reciprocal function cotangent are positive. Oops. All the rest are negative. And then in quadrant 4, you have negative y values and positive x values. So cosine and secant are positive, sine is negative, its reciprocal function is negative, tangent is negative, and its reciprocal function is negative. So you want to remember these when you're finding the sine and cosine of a point value. If you're given a quadrant or you know what quadrant you're in, you want to remember this to come up with the sign. And the easy way to remember which signs are positive is all students take calculus. Okay, this will help you to remember just the positive functions. So they're all positive in quadrant 1. Sine and its reciprocal function are positive in quadrant 2. Tangent and cotangent are positive in quadrant 3. And then cosine and its reciprocal function are positive in quadrant 4.